Hey, Luke here with catsandcarp.com, and today I'm reviewing the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando combo. So for those of you who are new to this series, I'm reviewing 24 different catfishing rods. This rod and reel combo is the only rod and reel combo that I'm reviewing in this series, and that's because it's only sold as a rod and reel combo. I do not believe you can get just the rod or just the reel. You have to buy them together. Together they're $84.99, so $85 for the combo, and it's a very light combo. The first thing you notice when you pick this up is this is light. This is almost something I could use for like musky fishing or something. I mean, I could sit there and move this around and cast it quite a bit all day long. It's a very light reel, very light rod compared to the other catfish rod and reels in this series. It's a 7-foot rod, and I think it's just a little shy under 7 foot. It's medium heavy power. It's got a pretty stiff action to it. It's got a foam handle that's fairly slender and has the trigger grip, which so many people like. It's got a hook keeper, and it's got the standard eyelets for a bait caster. It's also got a very attractive paint job. It's got this digi camo, kind of gray on gray and black paint job that matches the reel. So as far as looks go, this is one of the sexier rod and reel combos you'll come across. Now let me talk to you a little bit more about the action. The action is, like I said, it's fairly stiff, but not too bad. It's a somewhere in between being tip soft and a through action. It's a kind of an unremarkable compromise for the action. It's not too tip soft like the old Ugly Stiks were, and it's not a real soft through action like the B&M Silver Cats. It's kind of average. This rod is well designed for a couple types of fishing. First off, if I was going to be doing a lot of float fishing on a river where I'm wading around, got a big bobber and a piece of fish, and I'm casting and drifting my rig through the current and moving around a lot, I would totally be all over this rod. This is a great rod and reel combo for that. It's light, it's easy to cast, you're not going to get a lot of arm fatigue doing this all day. So it's a pretty good rod where you're going to be doing a lot of casting, or you're going to be carrying the rod around as opposed to putting it in a rod holder. It's a short rod, so if you're in a place where there's a lot of trees overhead, it's nice having a shorter rod, okay? So if you're in fish tight spots, this is definitely more attractive. Or if you're going to be fishing on a small boat, like you got a little John boat and you want to put 3 or 4 rods in there, and you know, having 8-footers can get quite cumbersome in a small boat. This is a good rod for that sort of thing. It doesn't have great casting distance because the reel is neither doesn't particularly high quality, doesn't have a particularly good brake system, and it's only barely 7-footer, so it's not going to be a great distance casting rod like the Meat Hunter rod or some of the other rods we have, but it's going to get the job done in most of the situations. The Abu Garcia Catfish Commando is also designed for about 15 to 30 pound line and about 1 to 3, 1 to 4 ounces of lead and bait. So this is not a rod and reel combo that you're going to use in heavy current where you need to throw big leads. The other problem with this, and the biggest problem with this rod and reel combo, is the reel does not have a bait clicker. Now, for those of you who like to catfish with bait casting reels, that's almost sacrilege. Most guys I know, they love those bait clickers, and I know I do. So not having a bait clicker is a big check mark against it. If this reel had a bait clicker, this would be very, very high on my recommendation list. But that one fact is kind of a big deal for me. The reel only has one type of drag system on it for casting. It's got the normal fighting drag, and then it has one type of casting drag. But I haven't had too many problems with backlashing this. Part of it is I'm used to using my thumb as the brake anyways. I don't tend to use the casting brake systems all that often. Additionally, a little trick that I learned is that when you're casting the rod, instead of holding it like this, like you intuitively would want to, when I cast, I hold it sideways so that the reel is facing straight up. And by doing it that way, by keeping the spool's axis vertical, I find I greatly reduce the amount of backlashes I get. So a little tip there. But like I said, I haven't had a lot of problems with backlashing this reel despite its very primitive brake system. Additionally, the reel has the release switch is on the side. So instead of having kind of the little button that you depress right there in the middle of the spool, it's got the little switch on the side. I know some people don't particularly care for that. But all in all, this is a good, sturdy rod, and it's a pleasure to have in the hands. It's not particularly cumbersome, it's light, and that makes it unique amongst most of the rods I'm reviewing, but not all of them. If you're going to be looking at buying this rod and reel combo, the other rods I would be looking at is primarily the Shakespeare Ugly Stik GX2 medium heavy powered rod. It goes for $39.99, and I have one right here in my left hand. As you can see, I've got the Ugly Stik GX2 and the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando side by side, and they are extremely similar. They are almost exactly the same length. They have almost identical handles, the same foam grip handles, same plastic reel seats, the same trigger grips. They have similar eyelets, and the paint jobs are even similar. They're both kind of the sexy black themes. The one difference is the Ugly Stik GX2 did not come with the reel. What I have on it is a Ming Yang MC600. This is about a $100 reel. It's an equivalent to an Abu Garcia 7000 with 20 pounds of drag and quite a bit of line capacity. So it's quite a bit larger and beefier than the reel that comes with the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando. So it's not really an apples to apples comparison here. I've got a $100 reel, and this is an $85 rod and reel combo, so not a fair comparison. If I were to be buying this rod and reel combo and wanted to compare it to the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando, I would look at the Cast King Rover 40 series. It's the smallest of the Cast King Rover series, I believe. And that runs for $45. So you've got a $39 Ugly Stik GX2 plus a $45 Cast King Rover. That's, if my math is correct, that's 85 bucks. The difference though is that the Cast King Rover 40 comes with a bait clicker. So for $85 you could get an Ugly Stik GX2 and a Cast King Rover 40 with a bait clicker, or for 85 bucks you can get the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando without the bait clicker. The big disadvantage of the GX2 Cast King combo is the Cast King only comes in cherry red, I believe. So it's going to clash. You're going to lose a little bit of that sexy with the bright red reel on this black rod. Additionally, I believe it's a heavier reel, though I would say argue a more higher quality reel than what comes with the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando. So you're going to have probably a little bit more weight, but you're going to get that bait clicker, and you're going to lose a little something in looks. So it's kind of a trade-off. If you don't care about bait clickers, get the Abu Garcia Catfish Commando. It's a great rod and reel combo. If you care about bait clickers and having a red reel on a black rod ain't a big deal to you, go and get the GX2 and throw on a Cast King Rover 40 series, and for the same price you'll get your bait clicker. Two really good options for boat fishing in a small boat on a budget, shore fishing in tight places, and doing a little float fishing. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to click subscribe to the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel. We're putting out new videos multiple times a week. Thanks for watching.